you've released the social media minimum age regulatory guidance document. It's a big document, and it attempts to explain how it is that the social media age assurance is going to happen. And it's very, I mean, I have to say it is difficult to follow in the sense that it seems to suggest there will be a range of ways in which the platforms will be able to verify ID, or sorry, verify age, I'm sorry, including all the way through, potentially through facial recognition to identification documents to even potentially metadata through location, things like that. So there seems to be a range of ways that that will happen. It's obviously going to involve a lot of personal data. Is it the case that these providers who are asking for this, will need to ask for this verification from customers, is it the case that some of that information and data will be stored overseas?
Well, most of the feedback on the regulatory guidance is that it was reasonable, feasible, and fair, and very accessible. We've been speaking to most of the companies that I mentioned to you and a broader cohort of companies for the past year. So we have a sense of the tools that they're already using. In fact, we used some of our Section 20 transparency powers in February to understand precisely what age assurance tools they were using. You'd also be aware that the Department of Infrastructure conducted an age assurance technical trial where they tested more than 50 technologies, and they looked at issues such as robustness, efficacy, but also to ensure that they are privacy preserving. So as the regulator, I don't presume to know the company's infrastructure better than they do, or to prescribe the technologies that I thought they should use. What we did suggest was, and we took great heed of your amendment. Hopefully you recognize that. But what we ultimately advocated was what we call a waterfall or a successive validation approach. So many of the larger companies are using age inference technologies, so they'd be looking at different behavioral signals of young people. 13-year-olds usually talk to other 13-year-olds. They're logging in before and after school, et cetera, et cetera. And the question is for them, what would they be layering on for a greater degree of certainty without only using either physical or digital ID as a sole means of...
I got it. That's a very, very roundabout way of saying that companies may have to store, they may have to, TikTok, for example, their parent company is based in Beijing. If TikTok are going to verify children, even potentially children's...
But they already do, Senator, so how is this going to be different?
Well, you're going to be... well, not you, but the legislation is going to be requiring that they take active steps to do that. Some do, some don't, presumably. So, and it may be there are other...
I would say TikTok is probably one of the companies that is already taking those steps. It's worth noting that there is a co-regulatory arrangement with the OAIC, and I think very soon you'll see guidance from the Privacy Commissioner so that we're balancing both ends of the scale, that there's privacy and safety are both enabled.
Can I just streamline this, because we are short on time? So it is the case, therefore, that you can't guarantee that Australians, including Australian children, and noting this was the Office of the Children's E-Safety Commissioner, will not be stored on the servers of foreign companies as a result of this requirement to verify the age of people who use social media.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Senator Antic. I think the key things to understand are firstly that a lot of platforms already collect and have a lot of inferential data available to them, and they're already storing that wherever they currently store their data. Importantly, any data that they collect specifically for the purposes of age assurance, they are required to not retain beyond the point in time that they use it for age assurance. So they will collect that data, use it to do the age assurance process, and then they're required to delete it.
But required by whom?
By the legislation.
The Australian legislation.
Yes.
So you think that foreign companies are going to simply just, companies out of Beijing, out of the Middle East, out of...
There are substantial penalties for them not complying with that.
Well, okay.